going to talk a little bit about behavioral assessments. Behavioral assessments are a 28% predictor of long-term job performance. What does a behavioral assessment actually measure? So behavioral assessments measure what motivates somebody, what drives them. I know we use the word behavioral assessment, but we're actually looking at what drives them, what motivates them. Because if we know what drives them, we then can predict what they need and we can predict what their behavior is going to be. So for example, if I told you that I was thirsty, you would say, well, Austin, you need a drink of water, right? And if I need a drink of water, my behavior is going to be that I'm going to go get a bottle of water. So by knowing what drives somebody, we then can predict what they need and we can predict their behavior. If we go the other direction though, and we look at somebody's behavior, we are now guessing at what they need and what's driving that behavior. So for example, if I just walked away and came back with a can of Coca-Cola, you might look at that and say, and I asked you, well, why did I get the can of Coke? You would say, well, you were thirsty, you needed the caffeine, you needed the sugar, you like the flavor of Coke, you were out of water, right? There's all these reasons, and there's not really the right one because you'd be guessing. You wouldn't know what drove me to go get that can of Coke, right? But when we know what drives somebody, I'm thirsty, we can predict needs and behaviors. This is a pretty basic human psychology. So behavioral assessments start by measuring what drives somebody. In other words, we're asking them, what do you like? By knowing what they like, what motivates them, we then can predict their behavior. We then can take that and say, okay, do they have a behavior that fits the job we're hiring them for? So for example, if we run a behavioral assessment on somebody and it comes back and says that they are motivated by social interaction, we then know that a sales job will be a fit for them. Because what is the primary function of a salesperson? Well, the primary function is to interact with people. So we want to find somebody who enjoys and is motivated and needs social interaction and then pair them with a job like sales where they're going to be fulfilled and get what they need out of that role. I wouldn't take somebody who just took an assessment and told me that they enjoy being around people and stick them in a cubicle by themselves with no social interaction. Like, that's not going to motivate them long term. On the flip side of it, I'm not going to then take somebody who tells me in a behavioral assessment that they're not motivated by people, they don't need social interaction, and put them into a sales role where they have to interact all day. So that's what behavioral assessments do. Measure what drives people, predict needs and behaviors. We're then able to take that and say, are they a fit for the job we're hiring them for? Are they going to enjoy it? What I see often is that we run behavioral assessments, a candidate tells us what they like and what they don't like, and we say, well, that doesn't really matter, we're going to put you in this job anyway, even though you may have just told us you don't like doing that. So as you look at behavioral assessments, they are a 28% predictor of long-term job performance. They measure what motivates somebody, what drives them, and then we can predict needs and behaviors.